Hello, everyone. Venus Callida here. I'm late, just a tiny bit, fashionably late. Island time. Well, you know how it is. I mean, we're the Horde. It's Venus Callida here with Dmac, one of our guildies, one of our most special friends, a foodie, adventurer through the kitchens, just like me, a real cook. And he and I got to talking like a month ago and came up with an entire special menu. Now we're using a little bit of magic. And the only thing we could get in here was a particular appetizer, but we'll talk about it. We just want to tell you right up front, no sheep were harmed in the making of this video. But anyways, I tried to put this a little sooner than I usually would play Riddle Me Din Din. It is the last Riddle Me Din Din of the year, 2025. And we wanted to put it a little day early just so that for those of you who are over there in Europe on the other side of the ocean, you're like 8 hours ahead of me, 5 hours ahead of me. I'm hoping that this wasn't too late so that you could see this episode. And DMAC, especially for you since you're overseas yourself, the other side of the world from me. By the way, how is the future looking? We're so close to rounding off this year, and I want to end it in the gratefulness of all the wonderful food, beverages, everything in our life that is healthy and clean and enjoyable, that you can get together with family or friends or us here online with me and today DMAC, because today we're taking a page or more out of DMAC's cookbook, and with his wish list in mind I put together a menu, a many part menu, let me tell you. So Magnus, being my very first subscriber ever in the entire world, who got me into World of Warcraft to begin with along with Cordelia, basically snuck us through a dwarven tunnel into the back of the Stout Lager Inn here in Thesselmar. Those of you on the Alliance will have no problem getting in. For us, well, we snuck in because we didn't want to have any carnage. We just wanted to bribe the cook, Honey, and it's a deal. So she's in the back there just to keep an eye on things. And we're here because we want to show you a very special Riddle Me Din Din for our New Year's Eve feast, a feast, and we've got all sorts of it all over the place here right now to give you a little clue onto what's in store for you. Now, DMAC, being one of our subscribers, a very precious mortal soul here in Venus Callida's YouTube universe, and we bonded over planning a scrumptious meal that we wanted to serve for New Year's Eve, and we thought maybe if we like it, you would like it too. So, with his permission, I hope you like lamb. This is definitely going to be a meat eater's edition, but no worries. For all my vegan friends out there, as you can see, we are going to have a whopping, 8-part menu. And everything else will be veggie friendly, lots of options, lots of foodie riddles, lots of healthy choices, lots of fun. So, I hope that you will be happy to play along with me. Because I know it's such a big menu, we're not always going to be playing Riddle Me Din Din for all of the, but for some of them, for the shorter ones, we're definitely going to do that. Sometimes I'll just straight up give you a menu, and I hope you will rewatch us or tag the menu item you like the best from this video. Let me know in the comments what you like the best, if you're going to try this yourselves for New Year's, for Epiphany, for my birthday, your birthday. But this is a real feast of a recipe. I love everything we're going to show you today. Now, some of it had to do some research because DMAC certainly had a specific wish list, and I hope, DMAC, I've done you proud. So when you do get a chance to see this, let me know in the comments what you thought. All right, so we're gathering together today to greet a fabulous new year incoming, say goodbye to the year that we've had, be glad that we've made it all together, and I hope you're all still having a happy holiday month, Msoul. We deserve it. Now listen, this is a monster of a cooking show. I'm not going to make you work for all the recipes, but for some. Because we've got 2 beverages, 1 appetizer, 3 sides for 1 main, and a choice of 2 desserts, because I love having choices and giving our guests choices too, with tips for picking the right wine to go with everything at the very end. But hey, when DMAC and I got started talking about food, it became a foodie palooza, and we just can't leave you out. This is awesome. Now listen, it's a biggin, but it's meant to gather friends and family together, the puppers, everybody, to ring in the new and exciting, promising year ahead. It's special, so let's get to it. Round number 1. Riddle me this. I can be found in 3 states, solid, liquid, and gas. What am I? Do 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 do. Riddle number 2. I'm both a color and a round fruit. What am I? Do 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 do. Banana, 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 banana. Riddle number 3. I'm a green citrus often squeezed to make aids. What am I? Riddle number 4. I'm a yellow citrus, most often found alone in aids. What am I? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Ba-dum bum. Let's keep going. Riddle number 5. I'm a sweet, tasty granular you can put in your tea or coffee. What am I? Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Riddle number 6. I'm the stuff oceans and teardrops are made of. What am I? Do 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 do. La 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 la. Riddle number 7. I'm both a fruit you string around a Christmas tree and a singing group. What am I? All right, Msoul, let's solve these riddles and find out how many you were able to guess for drink number 1 right here in my hand. In riddle number 1, I can be found in 3 states, solid, liquid, and gas. What am I? Water, and we'll need 6 cups of water for this recipe. Riddle number 2, I'm both a color and a round fruit. What am I? Orange. We need a half fresh orange, seeded, quartered, or sliced. I think sliced looks the best. In riddle number 3, I'm a green citrus often squeezed to make aids. What am I? Lime. We'll need a half a lime, seeded, cut into quarters, or also sliced. In riddle number 4, I'm a yellow citrus, most often found alone in aids. What am I? Lemon. We'll need a half lemon, seeded, also cut into quarters, or sliced. I like the slices. They just look so pretty in a cup or in a punch bowl. All right. In riddle number 5, I'm a sweet, tasty granular you can put in your tea or coffee. What am I? Sugar. We'll need a quarter cup. In riddle number 6, I'm the stuff oceans and teardrops are made of. What am I? Again, water, but a separate batch of water in its own cup. A quarter of a cup of water will do. Finally, in riddle number 7, I'm both a fruit you string around a Christmas tree and a singing group. What am I? Cranberries. We need 12 ounces of frozen cranberries. Let them thaw out before you use them. If you have fresh, I guess you can use that too, but the ones from the freezer are just as good. Just make sure they're thawed. So Venus, you could query, what does this make? Well, Dmac, I'm glad you asked me. It's a fancy cranberry aqua fresca recipe, a refreshing and celebratory non-alcoholic thirst quencher, which is such a fantastic, beautiful color. Have a look at this. I'm going to come up really close. Look at that. Look at that whole thing. We're not playing around. We're going to feed you and water you very well. And you'll notice mine has a little sprig of rosemary. Now, if you are going to cook lamb, then you'll definitely want to put that sprig of rosemary in there to contrast against the tartness of the cranberry. It's going to be a sweet, tart, savory refresher and very, very tasty. All right, now, just to say, to make this fancy cranberry aqua fresca recipe, to prepare it, First, you make the citrus water, and you're going to place the citrus fruit in a large container, pour water over the fruit, and mix well. Cover and refrigerate overnight. That's why we had to show you a day early. Now, next, prepare the simple syrup to go with it. In a small saucepan, heat the sugar and water. That's the quarter cup of water with the quarter cup of sugar, okay, until it's boiling. Then stir until the sugar is fully dissolved. Use a fork to make sure you can break up the clumps. Let this cool. It can be covered and refrigerated until you want to use it. Now, to prepare the cranberry agua fresca, you're going to puree your cranberries in a blender. Add the simple syrup and citrus water and continue to blend in the mixer until it's well combined. The drinks can be served over ice. I like to crush my ice so it's sort of like a slushie. Or if you want to float a few fresh cranberries in it, use ice cubes so you can bed the little cranberries separated from each other and it looks like a little party in a cup between the ice cubes. All right. Now, you can also shake with ice in a shaker and then strain this beverage into a glass for a festive mocktail. Now, don't forget to garnish with a toothpick of cranberries and a sprig of mint or rosemary for a tart and savory sipper. Now, that's mine. But that's not what Dmac was talking to me about. But you guys know, I love my waters. I believe in hydrating. Here's what we're going to do. Now, that was only round one from this kitchen. But if you want to drink something less tame, but equally beautiful to behold, we're going to dip into Dmac's wish list. Here comes another brew. Get ready, get set, because here comes round two. Riddle me this. I am a juice that is crushed out of a fruit that grows from vines. What am I? Hello, Dmac. Here we go. This one's for you. You're here just in time for something we specifically talked about. It's a sipper. You're going to see it over here beside me. And let me just this punch bowl right here. This comes from this punch bowl right here. That's what we're playing for right now. This is the one that comes from Dmac's cookbook. Although I've taken it more than just one page from you today, Dmac. Here we go. All right. In riddle number 2, this is a drink traditionally served at Christmas. It's white and thick. What could it be? Do 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 do. Ba-na-na-na-na. Riddle number 3. I love that you're here for this. All right. I am an alcoholic beverage with a beautiful ruby glow. I'm also the name of a singer. What or who am I? Ba-na-na-na, 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 ba-na. Keep those answers coming. I know you're going to love this. I hope I do you proud with these recipes today. I really put together a spread based on your wish list. All right. Riddle number 4. I am something you can sprinkle over an espresso or roll inside a bun. What am I? Ba-na, ba-na-na-na, ba-na-na-na, na-na-na-na. Pew, 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 pew. We're not wearing red. Missed us. Riddle number 5. I have a bright flavor, and I'm used to enhance gingerbread houses and gingerbread cookies. What could I be? Do 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 do. La 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 la. Riddle number 6. I am both a secondary color and a fruit. You can buy me from Florida. What am I? All right, we're going to solve these riddles. We're going to find out, Dmac, how many of these. Ooh, interesting. Let's find out. Let's 5-0. All right, Dmac, how many of these did you get right? In riddle number 1, I am made by crushing a fruit that grows from a vine. what could I be? You know, the drink you were drinking the day that we were talking about this New Year's feast? It was red wine. Wine. And what I'm going to suggest, because we talked about different kinds of wines, you actually made me do some research, is a Merlot or a Shiraz. I'm actually leaning towards the Shiraz because I know what the main meal is going to be. But 2 cups red wine will do it. In riddle number 2, that's right, grape juice turned to wine. Because I know you wanted something with a kick for New Year's Eve. So we've got the agua fresca, which is part 1. That's for me. That's our cranberry infused fancy water. This one's going to have a little more of a kick. In riddle number 3, it is both the name of a female R&B singer and also a dark ruby hued liquid, which is alcoholic. Don't know if you know this singer. Brandy. And we need a 1/4 cup brandy for this recipe. Riddle number 4. So you did say it. You can sprinkle me over espresso. You can roll me up in a bun. What is it? Cinnamon. We'll need a 1/2 teaspoon ground cinnamon for this recipe. It's going to smell and taste so good. Okay. Riddle number 5. It goes with cinnamon. It enhances. It's a bright flavor, and it's a spice that enhances, gingerbread houses, gingerbread cookies. I see where you were going with it, but I went with nutmeg. And so we need a 1/2 teaspoon ground nutmeg for this recipe. It's actually the thing. Take a look in this punch bowl right here. Right over there. Right over there. That's the one I thought for you. I wanted to look as fancy as possible for our feast. Finally, riddle number 6. Both a secondary color and a big fat round fruit. An orange, you were right. Ding, ding, ding. We need 1 orange sliced up. You can see that the way they floated it along the edges of the punch bowl. You could stuff one down the side of a drink when you're pouring for a guest. I just like looking at them sliced like that. And I also, even if I know I'm going to make it in a punch and put it in a punch bowl, I will actually like freeze some rings of lemon, lime, and orange with some mint sprigs, or in this case could be cloves, inside an ice ring made with those, those jello molds with the hole in the middle, like a bundt cake mold. And then I put that in the punch bowl so that as that like melts down, you get more fruit. Also more water, but more fruit in your punch. Okay, so Venus, one might ask, Dmac, Venus, what does this make? This is red wine eggnog punch. When you were describing this to me, I wasn't sure that would work together, but you were right. There are a lot of recipes for this, and it pairs brilliantly with the intended main meal, which I did have to promise at the beginning of this episode, no animals were harmed in the making of this video, but I'm just saying it'll go really, really well with what we intend to serve out of your cookbook for our main meal. Now, to prepare this red wine eggnog punch, okay, in a large bowl, combine your red wine, eggnog, and brandy. Then you're going to stir in the cinnamon and the nutmeg. Serve over ice or in a punch bowl with cinnamon sticks for garnish. I like to stuff down some of the orange slices. You could float the cloves or the nutmeg on top. Cinnamon sticks, whichever you like, whatever works best for you to garnish. And it works because there's a balance between the eggnog's creamy sweetness and the wine's fruity brightness, making it a super festival standout. Yes, Dmac, that one was for you. I'm actually going to try this, but I'm waiting until tomorrow. I've got all the bits. I got a nice big fat orange waiting for this. Okay. So now we have our sippers. We've got an agua fresca, cranberry infused waters, and we've got our wine eggnog punch. So I'm going to give you a little break from the games, and I'm going to straight up tell you how to prepare a strikingly beautiful appetizer. It's a purple cabbage salad. Unfortunately, I wasn't able... I hope you're going to love it, because I'm going to love it. It's fancy, and I picked it for you. Now, this salad looks amazing. Unfortunately, there's no way that I can actually show it to you, but if you use a purple cabbage, and you use little mandarin, oranges, or tangerine bits, slices of carrot, all this, it's going to look super fantastic, and actually, it's not going to clash at all with the color of our beverages. See, we're going for the deep ruby wine reds this evening in what we do. Okay, so... I'm just going to tell you straight up. We're going to make a purple cabbage salad. It's an appetizer that pairs well with our main dish. And to prepare the base of this salad, you're going to need to gather about 16 ounces of purple cabbage, shredded up, and a third cup of scallions, chopping them up, a third cup of pine nuts, 8 ounces of carrots. You can julienne them, or I just take like a grater, like a peeler, and I just peel down so you get like shreds of carrot peel, like not the dirty part, the inside parts. I just shred it all. I use it for cheese too, and I just throw it in with this slaw, so everything like long skinny pieces I'll toss together. And then we need one 11-ounce can of mandarin oranges. And save the liquid, put it aside, but you're going to separate out the little mandarins. It's like purples and oranges is so happy looking, and it works with the oranges in our wine punch too. I think it actually tastes really nice and bright and refreshing. And then you have to make your own salad dressing with it. It really does work, because if you wanted, you could also cook like little Brussels sprouts and serve it as a side, but I didn't do that today. But it's a complimentary thing, so I went with the fresh. And to make your own salad dressing for this, you need 4 tablespoons of brown sugar. It's my favorite. Half teaspoon freshly ground black pepper, a quarter teaspoon of fine sea salt, 4 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. Haven't finished with the wine. 1 tablespoon of juice from the mandarin orange liquid. So if you're buying the mandarins, if they're not fresh, if they come from the can, save that juice. We're going to use a tablespoon of it. Half cup vegetable oil, 1 teaspoon chicken consomme powder, like a Parve brand. If you want, you can omit that if you don't want to use it. And a half teaspoon of garlic powder. Now, I like to mince real garlic. Not everybody likes to take that punch in their mouth, so you can use the garlic powder as you like. All right, now, once you've gathered all of these ingredients, you're going to place the cabbage, the scallions, pine nuts, carrots, oranges, and cranberries into a large Ziploc bag. Shake, 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 set it aside. In a jar or a cruet, you're going to mix your brown sugar, pepper, salt, vinegar, the reserve liquid from your mandarin oranges, the oil, the consomme powder, if you're going to use it, you don't have to, and the garlic powder. You're going to close and shake thoroughly until it's completely mixed, nice and cloudy. And you're going to pour this over the salad when you're ready. And then you're going to refrigerate this salad with the salad dressing on top, at least for 1 hour before your guests arrive, so that it completely marinates into the cabbage and the carrots, and it's just going to be amazing. It needs to set for at least 1 hour. Yeah, well, I have real garlic. I buy straight from the farm. They have a drying process that's really good. I love real garlic, so I'm glad you're on the same page with me. But just to say, there are some options to tweak this to make it work for you. I know you're a real cook, so you'll have the feel for it in your kitchen. Now, if you don't have the Parve chicken soup mix or like the OXO cube, just skip it. Because, I mean, a lot of the kosher consomme powders, they do have MSGs in them, so you can just omit it. I omit it. You could, if you omit it, just add an extra pinch or 2 of salt if you skip the soup powder. But taste your salad first. Make sure whether you need it or not. It may not even need it. For myself, I just like, once it's marinated, it's going to be so good, I don't think you're going to feel the need for it. Personally, I don't use soup mix or salt, and that's just me because I watch my sodium levels. I like to keep my blood pressure down and all that. But if you're not worried about things like that, a pinch or 2 will do it of this salt. But let it marinate first and check it. And also, if you have real garlic in there, it's going to be even more flavorful. So you're going to want to check. All right. Dmac, my mouth is watering, and I'm so glad that so far it looks like you're liking what I did with what we talked about, and I hope you are intrigued, because we're getting right down to the nitty gritty. We're going to say sorry to you. We're going to say sorry to you. We're going to say sorry to you. We say sorry to you. Don't worry. We're not going to feed this to you. But everybody, if you're vegetarian, you're going to want to look away. Don't listen. Just do a la 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 in your head for 5 minutes, and then come back to us later. I'm going to get up really close. Dmac. All right, this is my agua fresca, a dessert. There's going to be 2, and the leg of lamb. We're going to do this. See the Brussels sprouts in there that you can add? We're going to do all the sides in separate dishes like you see around this, the inn here. I got us into the inn in Thessalmar, which you wanted. I got Magnus to see her back there. Honey, We bribed her, so she's letting us in. She's keeping an eye out to make sure the alliance doesn't come in. So we snuck in through a dwarven tunnel with Magnus, because we didn't want any carnage. We just want to have a really good meal. I know you love this butcher block. And sorry, lambs, just don't listen. Anyways, yeah, we had to the deal was we had to leave our weapons in the hole. But that's all right. Read into that all you want. I'm going to make you work for this now. This is mouth watering. My mouth is watering. I already know what this is going to taste like. All right. So maybe I'm taking a few pages out of Dmac's cookbook this evening, but we've reached the apex of the cooking loves, the main dish, and I'm going to make you work for it. So are you ready? Here comes round number 4. Riddle me this. I'm a meat that comes from a woolly creature. Mary really should have kept a better eye on me. But what am I? All right. Riddle number 2. I actually forgot to write the riddles for this. I'm making it up on the spot. I hope that's okay. All right. By our name, you'd think we were parts of a garlic, but we're not. We're a tasty spice. Just as nice. What could we be? Do 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 ding 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 ding. And in case you're wondering, Dmac's holding the pears. He just had to put his arm around in between mine because I needed to hold the drink and also the lamb. So it's a team effort here. It's a team effort. Ooh, Dmac. I knew that you were a food connoisseur and a chef. Let's keep going. Riddle number 3. This woman gave birth to a demon child in a movie. What's her name? Also a herb. Banana, 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 banana. Riddle number 4. I'm the thing that you string between popcorn and put on a Christmas tree. I'm a ruby red fruit. What could I be? You know what? I listen to modern music. You'd never know it. But whenever I do this show, I suddenly forget all the modern songs. I don't know why. I panic and I revert back to my childhood. Anyways, riddle number 5. I am a citrus fruit, originally used to make original jelly beans. What fruit am I? Interesting. Interesting. Trying to think of a song. Dun 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 dun. We'll put you by the punch bowl. I know you're gonna love this drink. All right, riddle number 6. Interesting. Riddle number 6, that could work too. Gandhi walked in a silent, passive revolt to make me by the ocean side. What did Gandhi make? Dun 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 dun. We're really coordinated together. This is lovely. All right. All right, Dmac. Here we are to tell the world, what is the main dish? Well, you've already said it, but in riddle number 1, I'm the woolly creature, and you shave me in order to stay warm in the wintertime. What am I? Lamb. We're going to need 1 leg of lamb, or a half leg. But I might cook, depending on how many people you invite over, maybe 2 of them. I don't know. But for now, this recipe is based on 1 big fat leg of lamb. You are correct. That's right. Riddle number 2. All right. I'm a spice. By my name, you'd think I'm a part of a garlic, but I'm not. I'm a warm brown spice. What is it? You did say it. Ding, ding, ding. Cloves. We're going to need about 10 cloves for this recipe. In the next riddle, number 3, this woman had a demon baby in a movie. What was her name? Also a herb? Rosemary. Rosemary's baby. We'll need 3 sprigs of rosemary for this recipe. And then, in riddle number 4, you string me between popcorn. Oops, sorry about that. Whoops, sorry about that. Ooh. Okay. And it's cranberries again. You're going to notice that if we have the agua fresca, we're using citrus fruits a lot. I always choose beverages that complement what's going to go in through the meats and through the side dishes and to the dessert. So it's all going to work together. Also saves you on the shopping trip. There's a lot to collect here. Yeah. And so it's going to be 1 big leg of lamb. And so we need 1 tablespoon of cranberry sauce, heaping tablespoon. Don't be cheap with it. I like the chunky cranberry sauce, but smooth is fine. Some people don't like it. It's up whatever texture you like the most. We're gonna enjoy and savor this meal. All right, so whatever you've got. And riddle number 5, that big fat citrus fruit whose peel was used to make the original jelly beans in the 1800s, the orange. We're gonna need a quarter orange. Just the zest of it. So you're just going to take that little grater and grate off the orange part of the peel, the outer part of the peel, to put into this recipe. Again, works well with that eggnog wine that you wanted, because there's oranges in that too. Yeah, it's very, very nice. This is all going to work together. It's going to go together really well, as I really did think about the meal as a whole feast that works together in your system. It's going to be lovely. Finally, in riddle number 6, Gandhi walked to the ocean in a peaceful, like a pacifist rebellion to make this item, salt. And so, Venus, you may wonder, what does this make? This is a recipe for lamb, a festive roast leg of lamb. I gotta look. Ever since we talked about it, I thought about it. Look, see very closely the rosemary's on top and the little cranberries there. We're gonna make use of all of it. We waste nothing here in our kitchen, right, Dmac? Thank you for coming to the show. I really did love talking with you about this. So, how do we make this festive roast leg of lamb, which I'm actually raising a fist to the air in triumph as I'm saying this, because it's so good. Okay, for about an hour before you want to cook your lamb, you're going to remove it from the fridge, remove all of the packaging, and place it into a large roasting dish. I love roasting stuff, I gotta tell you. Okay, cover the lamb with cling film and allow it to come to room temperature before you roast it. It's going to take at least an hour for it to come to room temperature. You're going to remove the cling wrap and you're going to use a sharp knife to cut small slits into the lamb, placing a clove in each slit. Remember, there's 10 of them. Make little slits, like stabby. Not quite like with a nice pick, but, stabby, just a little. Hey, you go to Dungeons and Raids and all that. You know how to do this kind of thing. You can poke one in. Just poke one in everywhere. Okay. I also tend to put a little bit of like curls of butter and poke them into the holes too, just because I don't like things to go. I don't want it to lose its juices and get all dry. Okay. So now, once you've got the cloves in every slit, there's about 10 of them, you're going to lay a few sprigs of fresh rosemary on top of the lamb, seasoned with the salt. Yes, indeedy. Okay. Next, preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius. That's 160 degrees Fahrenheit, because I know you and I use different measuring systems. So in a small bowl, mix together the cranberry sauce, 1 very heaping, wealthy, generous tablespoon, plus the orange zest from about a quarter of an orange. Roast the lamb for 2 hours and 5 minutes. Adjust the time according to the weight of your lamb, and I'll talk to you about that in a minute. About every 20 to 30 minutes, you're going to baste the joint with the juices in the bottom of the tray. Half an hour before the lamb is finished cooking, you take it out of the oven and brush it with the cranberry and the orange mixture so it has a thin coating and a nice little crispy candied coating all over the outside. Then return it to the oven to finish cooking. Once the lamb is cooked, remove it from the oven, cover with a foil, and leave it to rest for 15 minutes before you carve it. Leave it there, let it rest. Say hi to your friends, refill their glasses before we get started. Then you're going to remove the cloves and the rosemary sprigs before you serve it. Because you don't want anyone to chomp down on one of those and then spit. Like, we don't want to waste that. Yeah, you got to baste it every 20 minutes. And here's some chef notes for cooking the lamb. So the timings are based on a 2-kilogram leg of lamb cooked in a medium heat. For other sizes of the lamb joint, here are some suggested cooking times. So if you got a medium, 25 minutes plus 25 minutes per 500 grams. For well done, you want to cook it for 30 minutes and then another 30 minutes for every extra 500 grams. For a really tender roast lamb, remove the lamb from the fridge an hour before you start cooking. You got to do that so that it'll be nice and tender. You don't want it to dry out. Okay. So we're not done because we've got some sides and desserts to prepare. And if you look around the room here with us, I've shown you most of them so that you can see the beautiful colors that will be on this table and in your glasses. It just helps add to the party. Okay. Now, I did promise my precious mortal soul that if you were vegetarian, there would be enough other items on the menu that you don't have to cook the meat. So here comes round number 5, a vegetarian treat. Riddle me this. Bugs Bunny likes to eat me. What am I? Do 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 do. Dun 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 dun. Riddle number 2. I'm something that a dairymaid would churn on a rainy day. What am I? Banana, 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 banana. Riddle number 3. A rabbi might bless me before I'm sprinkled on your food. What am I? Do 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 do. Pew 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 pew. Didn't get us. Well, that amuses me anyhow. Riddle number 4. I'm a dark spice found in a mill on a kitchen table. Too much of me in your hand and I could make you sneeze. What am I? Da 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 da. I forget to smile. I should smile. All right. Riddle number 5. I am the liquid state of icicles. What am I? Woo! Riddle number 6. Ooh. I'm the darker, sweeter version of something you offer when they say 1 lump or 2. What could I be? Moo moo ka-choo, 1 lump or 2. La 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 la. La 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 la. Last but not least, I'm something often used as a garnish, but I'm full of nutrition, you see. My leaves could be flat, but they could also be curly. What green garnish am I? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Ba-dum bum. What? A what? Oh my goodness, you're so funny. Okay, hey, where do we go? All right, here we are. Well, you could put that in with this, but all right. I will let everybody off the hook, Dmac. Let's review these riddles, find out how many you got right. In riddle number 1, Bugs Bunny likes to eat me. Carrots. Ding, ding, ding. You are correct. And you're going to see that over here on this side, right here, between us and the lamb, those carrots, you can julienne them. But I digress. In the next one, riddle number 2, milkmaids, dairy maids could churn me on a rainy day, usually best on a gray and rainy day when it's cooler, to churn butter. And in this case, we need 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter for this recipe. In riddle number 3, a rabbi might bless me before I'm sprinkled on your food. It's kosher salt, and we'll need a ½ teaspoon kosher salt for this recipe. However, if you would rather chop up celery, it is a natural salt, you could use that instead. I would be fine with that, because they taste nice when they're soft and cooked and roasted. All right. In the next riddle, you find me on a meal on the table next to the salt. Dark and too much of me could make you sneeze. It is pepper, nice ground black pepper, and we'll need 1/8 of a teaspoon for this recipe. In riddle number 5, I am the liquid state of icicles. What am I? Water. And we'll need 1.2 cups of water for this recipe. So just a little more than a cup, but not a cup and a half. A little more than a cup. Okay. Riddle number 6. I'm the darker, sweeter version, that bit of a molassesy flavor in a thing that we offer when we say 1 lump or 2. What is it? Dark brown sugar. We need 1 tablespoon of packed light or dark brown sugar for this recipe. I like the darker one because it makes a more caramel taste and look to the carrots when we're cooking them. And riddle number 7. I am a green garnish whose leaves could be flat or curly. People often discard it, but it's actually very high in nutritional value. Also helps to clean your breath. My grandmother ate it all the time. It's parsley. Chop fresh parsley for a garnish on top or on the side. It's good for you. But you know what? If you want to add some spinach, why not? Let's do that too. Green and orange looks very glorious. We love all the bright, rich colors coming in through our meal tonight. And I know you're a good cook. You'll make it work either way. So Venus Row might wonder, what does this make? It's a fantastic side for the lamb dinner. It's a standalone if meat is not a treat for your table. It's glazed carrots. They're super yummy. And to prepare the glazed carrots, you're going to peel and trim 1 pound of carrots, slice crosswise on a slight diagonal for the 1/4 inch thick, about 2.5 cups worth. They just look really nice like that. But, do whatever makes you happy. And then you're going to melt a tablespoon of unsalted butter in a medium skillet over medium heat. Add the carrots and season them with a ½ teaspoon kosher salt, 1/8 of a teaspoon black pepper. Cook, stirring occasionally until the carrots start to soften. This will take about 5 minutes. Add a ½ cup of water and a tablespoon of the packed brown sugar. Yummy. Cook, stirring occasionally until the liquid reduces to a glaze and the carrots are just tender. This takes about 6 to 8 minutes. Serve garnished with the chopped fresh parsley. If you like, I say do it. It's healthy for you. And you can make this dish ahead of time, just like when you're letting your lamb come to room temperature. You can make these carrots at that time. Because carrots can be peeled and sliced up to 1 day ahead. Refrigerated in an airtight container. Any leftovers can be refrigerated on an airtight container for up to 5 days, but I don't think we're going to have any leftover this New Year's Eve party. This tastes too good. All right, Dmac, Msoul, I don't want to burn you out. We've got 2 more sides to cook up. I just want to point them out. There's the potato stuff over here. We got the asparagus stuff over here. Again, orange, green, white. I love eating the rainbow. It's good for you. It's healthy for you. It's a good variety on the table for everybody. And it makes the Irish flag. Manage that. Hey, it's just fun and glorious and goes with all the colors in our drinks too. So let's move on. I'm just going to tell you this one so that you don't burn out on riddles just at the moment. All right. So the first one I'm going to talk about that really goes well with lamb, also another standalone, eating the rainbow. I want to talk to you about making Dauphinois potatoes. Those are over here. They kind of look like scalloped potatoes. They're like if scalloped potatoes and roasted potatoes had a baby. That would be the Dauphinois potatoes. So you're going to need to... I hope you like it. For some reason, I thought that would resonate with you. I don't remember why, but maybe a soccer team that you might cheer for. I don't know. Don't hate me if I'm wrong, but I think I got it. Oh, I would like to see there one day too. Everyone I've met that's visited Ireland has only had beautiful things to say about it. Yeah, I want to go there. I hope one day. So Dauphinois potatoes to go with our lamb and our glazed carrots. You're going to gather the following ingredients. You need a tablespoon of unsalted butter, 8 ounces of Gruyere cheese, 2.5 pounds of Yukon Gold potatoes, 3 cloves of garlic, 2 cups of heavy cream, 2 cups whole milk, 1 teaspoon kosher salt, 1 teaspoon freshly ground black pepper, half teaspoon ground nutmeg, 2 dried bay leaves, 1 teaspoon fresh thyme leaves. Once you have these ingredients, arrange them in a rack in the middle of the oven and heat them for 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Coat a 9.5 by 13-inch baking dish or a 4-quart baking dish with 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter. Grate 8 ounces of Gruyere cheese on the large holes of a box grater, which makes about 2 cups of grated cheese. You're going to peel 2.5 pounds of Yukon Gold potatoes. Remove any blemishes. Take out the eyes. Don't want it staring at us. Slice into 1/4-inch thick rounds and place into a large pot. You're going to mince the 3 garlic cloves. That's for us, you and me, Dmac. We love our fresh garlic. Add the minced garlic, 2 cups heavy cream, 2 cups whole milk, 1 teaspoon kosher salt, 1 teaspoon black pepper, half teaspoon nutmeg, and 2 dried bay leaves. Bring to a simmer over medium heat. Simmer, stirring it often until the potatoes are fork tender but still slightly firm. This will take 5 to 7 minutes. Then remove it and discard the bay leaves. Nobody wants to just bite down on one of those all at once. Now, using a slotted spoon, transfer half of the potatoes into the prepared baking dish and arrange in an even layer, kind of like how you make a lasagna or triple decker sandwich. You're going to top with half of the grated cheese. Arrange the remaining potatoes on top of the cheese in even layers. Pour about 2 cups of the cream mixture over the potatoes, stopping just below the top layer. Do not use all of the cream mixture yet. And then you're going to top this with the remaining cheese. So we made lots of layers. Cheese, cream, potatoes, cheese, cream, potatoes, cheese, cream, potatoes. But hold back just some of that cream. All right. You're going to bake until the potatoes are golden brown and easily pierce with a knife all the way to the bottom. Stabby, stabby, but be gentle. Okay, this takes 40 to 45 minutes. Then you're going to garnish with 1 teaspoon of the fresh thyme leaves. Let it cool for 15 minutes before you serve it. Throw on a little more dash of that liquid at the end if you need to, before you're serving. Let it rest 15 minutes before you bring it out. Everything needs to rest a bit here. Secret of Dmac fun fact: you've never used a bay leaf in your life? Oh, that's interesting. You know, I have them in my cupboard, and I very rarely pull them out, and yet I know I have them there. They're very strong, but I think because we're using a lamb, if you put some of that with the lamb, then I would put some of the potatoes, cross it over. For me, I know I'm putting rosemary in the lamb, and I love putting rosemary in my potatoes, and a sprig of the rosemary in the agua fresca with the cranberry. See how I'm pulling it all together? It's just kind of sneaky like that. But, you know, creme patates. I actually wrote it as patates myself. Now, again, if you have any leftovers from these potatoes stored in an airtight container for up to 5 days, honestly, I don't think there'll be any left over. These are really, really tasty and hold their own up against that lamb and our glazed carrots. But now, the next thing we've got. Yeah, I grew it in my garden, and I'm not sorry. With all my mints. It grew together with my peppermint, actually. It made its own little peppermint rosemary baby. They're very nice. They're very nice. All right. Next on the docket, the pan-roasted asparagus with brown butter, lemon, and eggs mimosa. It sounds like a mouthful, and it's a good one. So I'm going to give you a break from the riddles. I'm just going to tell you straight up how to do this. Look over here. Look at this. Look at this right here. Mmm. Mmm.
I love asparagus. I was able to get off of French fries by just like throwing olive oil and nice salt on asparagus and just bake it. Well, you did too fast. Today we're going to do something fancy for all our friends coming over to eat with us. Yeah. I have so many kinds of gardens. Do you have. You mince everything and I got mince for everything? Yeah. Oh, I got a little too close to the camera there. Our heads got too big. Hang on. Coming back to Earth. Huh. For the humans. To bring them Azerothian delights. All right. So here's what we're going to do for our pan-roasted asparagus. We need 1 pound of asparagus trimmed, a quarter cup of extra virgin olive oil, 2 tablespoons unsalted butter, juice and finely grated the zest of a half of a lemon, 2 tablespoons of chopped parsley, 2 tablespoons of chopped tarragon, salt, and freshly cracked black pepper, and 2 hard-boiled eggs. And yeah, just because. But keeping in mind that if you're a vegetarian, and I know out there, for example, Bunny, Tishy Adams, and Dark Alice, they're going to need the hard-boiled eggs if they're not going to cook and make a lamb because they're vegetarian. Then the hard-boiled eggs help to give you that protein we need to make sure everyone goes home full, right? So once you've gathered all of your ingredients, you're going to heat the oil in a cast iron skillet over medium heat until it's quite hot. Add the asparagus and a pinch of salt. Cook it, turning the asparagus from side to side occasionally until it's brown and tender for about 2 to 3 minutes for the skinny pieces and up to 7 minutes for the big fat ones. Just use your judgment there. Next, lower the heat to medium. Add in your butter and stir until it's just starting to brown. Stir in the lemon zest, the tarragon, and the parsley at the end, and then add the lemon juice. Transfer the asparagus to a plate and pour the pan juices over the top. Sprinkle with the sieved hard-boiled eggs like a crumble with it, and serve it immediately. Et voila! I do gotta get the eggs in. Orange, white, and green. It's like the Irish flag. It's ready for a party. Bright, brilliant, smells great, tastes great, standalones or works together, all of it, best things to serve as sides to the lamb, every one of them. I love the joyful colors served on a big feasting table. How about you, Msoul? Dmac? I'm hoping you would approve. I'm thinking you would approve. There's so many spices and herbs we're getting into here. All right, now, Msoul, my celebratory people, we're ready for the next round, desserts. And you've got one to work for, and it's my favorite. And I'm going to come up close one last time. Look at this. That's my agua fresca and the lamb looking over here with a punch. Okay, all the sides, all those beautiful sides, and the potatoes. You can add the Brussels sprouts if you want, but I'm not going to talk about this today. We've got the potatoes, the carrots, and we've got here whatever this is my favorite fruit in all the world. And I heard it's got lots of fiber in it, so it's actually quite healthy for you. My favorite fruit. And it's going to be a dessert, a very elegant dessert, because I do think class and elegance suit us both, Dmac, honestly. And so you're going to work for this one. This is my perfect favorite chaser to lamb dinner. So, not an apple or an orange, but I usually make my way into a fruit bowl. Some say women are shaped like me. What could I be? Do 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 do. I am too. Do 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 do. All right. Riddle number 2. In the 1800s, they bought me in the shape of a cone as big as a dunce hat. Now you can get me in cubes or little sprinkle packets. What am I? Ding ding. Keep those guesses coming in. You're hilarious. All right, riddle number 3. I am the bark of a tree, but you can add me to coffees and buns and this recipe too. What could I be? Do 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 do. Ba-da-da-da-da. Riddle number 4. I'm very expensive as extracts go, a dark, sweet liquid that can only be handpicked once a year from a very specific orchid plant. What could I be? Let's get close to the punch bowl here. I want to see the fire behind you. All right, you know me well. In the next riddle number 5, I am the liquid state of steam. What am I? Ooh, interesting. Final riddle. Riddle number 6. I'm that secondary color that's also a fruit. I'm the biggest in the citrus bunch. What could I be? 3, 2, 2. La 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 la. I love that we can dance. Na 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 na. All right, it is time. Watersicle. All right, I have to reveal for the pièce de résistance, the perfect dessert chaser to the lamb dinner. In riddle number 1, I am right there in the fruit bowl with the apple and the orange. They often say that women could be shaped like me. It is, in fact, a pear. Ding, ding, ding. We'll need 6 large, very firm pears for this recipe. Or think of it as 1 pear per person sitting at your table for dinner. All right. In riddle number 2, in the 1800s, they would buy you as a cone as big as a dunce cap. Offer you as riddle number 2. Nowadays, you can buy me in little cubes or bags of powder to sprinkle. What am I? Sugar. Yes, you were right again. We need 2.5 cups granulated sugar for this recipe. Riddle number 3. I am that thing you can sprinkle on coffee and roll it up in a bun. What am I? Cinnamon. We're going to need 2 cinnamon sticks. And if you like, you can even have 2 anise stars to mix in with this recipe. Riddle number 4. That thing that's handpicked once a year, so it's a very expensive liquid that is sweet, coming from a very specific orchid plant. The vanilla orchid. For vanilla extract, you are right again. Ding, ding, ding. In riddle number 5, I am the liquid state of icicles. You said watersicles? Yes, we need 2 quarts of water for this recipe. And finally, that secondary color that is also a fruit, a big fat round fruit. It's an orange. We need 1 medium orange. Slice it up just like we did for the punch. So Venus, you could be thinking, what does this make? It's a recipe for poached pears, an elegant and simple choice, but nonetheless amazing to serve. Poached pears with the lamb. I love it. I love pears are my favorite. I don't think I mentioned that enough. You laughed? I'm shaped like bananas? I guess I wouldn't attribute women to bananas, but I guess if your gravity got to you and maybe you're a hippie that like threw certain things into bonfires, parts of you could be like bananas now, I suppose. But I digress. Okay. An elegant and simple choice. Poached pears are a wonderful dessert to follow a lamb dinner. So the key to success lies in gently simmering the pears in a syrup made with flavors like cinnamon, star anise, and vanilla. Serve the poached pears with a dollop of creme fraiche or a scoop of vanilla ice cream for a delightful aromatic set of flavors that pair enchantingly with lamb. I can't tell you, my mouth is really watering. I just even love the smell of all of this. So how to prepare this most elegant poached pear recipe? Combine the water, sugar, cinnamon sticks, star anise, and orange slices in an 8-quart lidded stock pot over medium heat until the sugar is dissolved. While the water is heating up, peel the pears. For each pear, first slice the bottom so that it can stand upright on its own. You want to make sure it's evened out. Then peel away all the skin, but leave the stem for the look of it on top. And add the pears to the pot. Then cut a circle of parchment paper large enough to fit in the pot on top of the pears. Cut a small circle in the middle for venting and place it on top of the pears in the water. Keep the water at a very gentle simmer and cook until the pears can be easily pierced through with a knife. About 20 minutes. No stabby. Gentle pokey poke. Now, more or less 20 minutes, depending on the size and variety and the firmness of your pears. You want to pick firm pears, not squishy ones, so they can stand up to this simmering process. Okay. Oh, I hope you will like it. So you're going to let the pears cool in their liquids. Then you serve them warm or at room temperature with vanilla ice cream or the creme fraiche, vanilla creme anglaise, salted caramel sauce, whatever you wish. I like a vanilla sauce, but because I like to save the shape of the pear, but it's up to you. If there are, by miracle, any leftover pears in their liquid, you have to seal them in an airtight container with the liquid in it. You can refrigerate for up to 5 days. I don't think that's quite... I think they might turn a little faster than 5 days, but... I mean, they're not going to last very long. If anyone's not looking, I'm going to get at them right away. Here are some chef notes. You can replace half of the water with white wine. Dmac, I thought of that for you. Instead of an orange, you could use lemon for a more tangy taste. You could switch out the orange for lemons all the way through these recipes if you want, but I like the oranges. And for different additions, like warm spices, you could use fresh ginger, whole cloves, star anise, allspice, or vanilla bean. I'm going to go with what I told you guys, though, because I think it's really a nice combination. Use a vegetable peeler to create thin strips of orange peel or lemon zest and arrange them on top or around the poached pears with a little sprinkling, just for looks. For extra flavor, squeeze a bit of fresh citrus juice over top just before you serve. A perfect dessert for any special occasion. They're beautiful, elegant, not too heavy after a big meal, and you can make them in advance as well and store them. Be sure that you start with firm pears because you've got to simmer them very, very gently so they don't get too mushy. It's not a New Year without one, huh? Now, that is such a wonderful New Year's Eve dessert fit for a feast. But I did say I'd give you 2 desserts because I love choices. I love giving people options. And you could make a very simple berry compote to top off the festive menu. Take a look over here at my berry compote. I just stuck it on a little like mold of, you could do like a milk in a, like a sweet milk in a clear jello and just make a little mold, or make your own tiny little individual cheesecakes or a scoop of ice cream, whatever you want. And berries, it's berry compote is a vibrant, tangy contrast to rich taste of lamb. And for a really great compote, you can mix fresh berries together. So I mix raspberries, blackberries, blueberries, strawberries. I might, in this case, switch out raspberries for cranberries to go with what we have in our drinks and how we served our lamb, because we made that with cranberries too. Mix it all up. And then put all the berries together and simmer them in a hint of sugar to taste. And I found a no sugar added recipe because fruit is naturally sweet anyways, with low calories and high nutritional value. So you're welcome. No games for this one. This last recipe, I'm just going to tell you what to do. So you could get a diced up strawberries, 1 cup, 3 cups of raspberries or cranberries, 3 cups of blueberries, 10 blackberries, a 1/3 cup of water, a tablespoon of vanilla extract. Or if you want to switch to another extract, lemon extract might be nice. Oh, and also 1 pear. Okay? So even if some of you are eating poached pears, grate in with a fine grater 1 pear into this compote. You're going to place the berries and the grated pear into a small saucepan on medium heat. Reserve 1 cup of blueberries and the cranberries for later to have a little bit of fresh on top for the texture as well. And then next you're going to add your water and heat over medium heat for about 8 to 10 minutes. The heat will start to soften and break down the berries. I will stir with a fork to crush them down a bit. Add the reserved blueberries and let them soften for 5 minutes. But let them hold their shape. Don't crush those ones. And then add the last of the raspberries or cranberries. Add in your vanilla at the end. Stir and remove the saucepan from the heat. This compote will thicken as it cools. So you, again, have to let this rest. Ooh, red juice. Oh, that sounds delicious. You could just add that red juice, this mix of raspberry, strawberry, cranberry juice, into ginger ale and have a punch really fast. Just to say, Dmac has given us another drink to serve. Yum! It's a punch. Okay, so when you're ready and everything is cooled, take whatever berries you have left to use as a topping on top, to just as a presentation style. Let the compote thicken. It's going to cool. And once it's cool, you can store it in a tightly sealed jar and keep refrigerated for up to 2 months. Yes, yum. Have some for later. And I keep some of the berries out and I add them at the very end like a garnish, just to show people what's in the berry compote so they can see what they're going to put in their mouth and enjoy. So now, I actually like to serve it a little bit of whipped cream on top of those little individual angel food cakes, like kind of like a flan, or individual cheesecakes, a scoop of vanilla ice cream, or you could fold them into some whipped cream for like a fruity millionaire pie, and that's it. Now, there's just one last thing. Dmac, you had requested like suggestions for wines, and you do, I know you love your wines. That would go with this particular meal, this particular menu that I've put together today after talking to you. So, in presenting this New Year's Eve feast, taking a page or more from Dmac's cookbook, which wine would I serve? A straight up wine, not mixing it with anything, for this lamb-centered feast. Okay, so this is a little bit dependent on the cut of lamb you use and how much spice you add to the meat when you're cooking it. But no matter what, I do strongly recommend a red of some kind. Now, of course, you can go with your favorite, but here are some suggestions that I found. So a Shiraz or a Syrah, it has vibrant berry flavors and a hint of spice that makes it a top pick to go with a lamb meal. Merlot, I know a lot of people that would choose a Merlot for this. It's a softer texture with a plummier taste. Excellent for mild lamb dishes. A Cabernet Sauvignon, its robust structure complements heartier preparations of lamb. Pinot Noir, a lighter option with red fruit notes, suitable for dishes that aren't overwhelmingly rich. What do you think? Dmac, you're here. Which one of these would you go with after hearing the meal you're going to mention? Oh, hello, Traxer. You're meeting us. Dmac and I put together this lovely feast for New Year's Eve. I'm going to be making it up between today and tomorrow. I actually have my meat out right now thawing because I froze it. And okay, so you're never... Oh, have you been starting to make flans and putting your vanilla pudding custards on the flan with the fruit? Because I would do that with a berry compote. It would be really nice. But Dmac, which of these wines would you more lean to for the type of lamb dinner we're talking about here with the potatoes and the carrots and the asparagus? Then we've got... Okay. I kind of would skip the Merlot. I don't want the plummy flavors because that's not in the palate of the dinner tonight. I actually would have gone with a Shiraz for the berry flavors, since we've got berries in our beverages and we've got berries in the lamb meal and we've got berries in our compote for the dessert. But they also talk about Pinot Noir, a lighter option with red fruit notes, as long as the lamb's on. I think this lamb is a rich dish. So a Cabernet Sauvignon or a Shiraz. I would go with a Cabernet Sauvignon or a Shiraz. Yep, okay. Dmac and I both vote for the Shiraz. So we're going to serve a Shiraz as the straight up regular wine for wine drinkers for our lamb meal this evening. That's our vote. Traxer, I don't know if you're into wines. I know you like whiskeys. We have one drink that has brandy in it today. Our wine eggnog punch has brandy in it. You might like that one. It's a very berry dish. But no lambs have been hurt in tonight's episode. These ones will go back. It's okay. In Azeroth, they res again. Tractor, well, Dmac, I hope I did you proud. I do want to hear from everybody though. Is there anything in this menu that you're gonna serve for New Year's Eve party or your birthday or New Year's Day? You like dry reds? And this ends 2025's year of Riddle Me Din Din compilations. Happy New Year coming up, everybody. Happy New Year, Msoul. Happy New Year, Traxxer and Dmac. Dmac, it was so much fun talking about cooking with you. And as you can see, I really took seriously what we were talking about, all our flavors and the research to back up what would go best with a lamb dinner and your eggnog wine punch. Oh my goodness. I didn't know they would go together, and like that was a winner. Love it. And of course, I had to throw in me. I'm the pear. And this whole thing. And all of our love for spices and herbs. It makes a good feature in today's recipe. Yay! Well, you were the inspiration, and I wanted to honor you. I hope you don't mind how we had to leave our swords in the tunnel. We're going to have to get ourselves back through the dwarven tunnel with Magnus because if we look back there, honey, she's been trying to keep people out. See her back there? Because she didn't want to have a problem with the alliance. This is an alliance in Thessalmar. But, you know, I always did like Msoul Harbor. A shame what happened during Cataclysm. Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much. If you make it and I make it, I actually finally found the cord to my camera. And so, you know what I'm going to do? I've just recharged my phone today. I finally found the wire. I've been going through boxes and boxes. I've got all my boxes from moving down to one row, about 3 boxes, 2 boxes high, across the back of my computer room and one cupboard. And everything else I've been donating, recycling, or throwing into the trash all day long today and yesterday. It's been a... So I should really take pictures of this, and I'll create one of those mind vacation videos that I do sometimes when I bake or cook live for you guys. I'll take some pictures, and I'm going to share with you guys after that. If you do, I don't know how we could get it to each other, but if you join me, if you look for my name on Facebook or Twitter, you can also find me there. I do talk to some of my followers, my guildies there as well. If you follow me, I'll follow you back. If I see you, I'll take a look for you. Maybe we could share some pictures of doing this stuff because, I mean, look at it all. I'm going to come up one last time. Look at this menu. Cranberries, rosemary, Brussels sprouts, potatoes, carrots, asparagus. Let's get over here. Asparagus and the carrots. And the compote. And the punch. And the white wine nog. I can't believe that goes together, you know. If you hadn't told me that, Dmac, I would never have known. And the one here in the punch bowl Traxxer is the one I think you would like. This one here in my hand, it looks so fancy, but it's agua fresca. That's it. It's water. It's cranberry water. You can throw some time in that if you want, just to complement the lamb that's coming up. And for those of you out there who are vegetarian, just skip the lamb. But look at everything else that's here. And there's this crumbles of egg down, boiled eggs down on the asparagus there. So we've got our protein in the mix. You could also double some eggs and chop them up into the potato, but I wouldn't put them in, bake it with the potato. I'd wait till the potato was baked and then like stir it in or crumble it. Use it as a crumble. Oh, I've been sitting on this, so excited to do these recipes. I'm so happy if you're happy. So many, but you know what? You knew a lot of my riddles. I actually ran out of time and had to make them up on the spot. I just used riddles I've said before, but that's okay. That's okay. Now these sheep are looking at us a bit weird. Beep beep with these sheep. We don't want to upset them. So we're going to have to get back in our dwarven tunnel, and Magnus is going to have to get us back to Horde side in Azeroth. And Traxxer, for you, our other gamer friend from Azeroth. Oh, by the way, Traxxer and Dmac, we all play the World of Warcraft, and Traxxer, Dmac is also on the European server. So I don't know if you guys want to hook up. Both of you know how to raid. Both of you know about like actual gear in the game. Take a look at Dmac's shoulder armor. Do you know what transmog that is? Let's get up closer one more time. Traxxer, look at that. He asked for a very specific sword and a very specific shoulder mog, and I got him that. And this long coat is actually in the game World of Warcraft. There are 3 long coats you can actually grind for in World of Warcraft, but the black one's the coolest one. I forgot the name of it, but and the hat. You might notice the hat from the Pilgrim Festival. I really did bling you out. That, see the white shirt? That's from the Easter Festival when we have to look for all the eggs. So, to all my WoW fans out there, you're the reason that got me into streaming in the first place. Thank you. That my gamer life and the foods of Azeroth make their way across the lands in the mortal realm. No portals required, just a few riddles here and there. But we in WoW do have our riddle quests from time to time, especially on holidays. But it all works. All right, my gamer friends. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go offline for now. I'm going to stare at the blizzard that's happening outside. Then I'm going to hop into Blizzard the game because I am caught up with housing and decor fishing, and I've got only like less than 20 days for my time runner to do its thing. And she's leveled up now to, I think she's in the 30s now, or at least the 20s. But we leveled up a lot yesterday. I had to just go with my leather jackets and my tall metal boots. I mean, I can't go without my armor. I'm a plate wearer all the way. Yeah. You guys should get to know each other. You're both... I started this. Look at how long it's taken us to do this menu. But I really took this seriously. You're a real foodie. So, I had to do this right. I hope you love it. I hope you love the spread. I'm going to be doing this for myself. And I'm going to throw everything in the freezer when I'm done because there's no way I'll eat this all. But I intend to have it between New Year's, my birthday. Appleman's birthday is coming up as well later in the week. It's going to be one party weekend, and I'm cooking for a few days here. Really? I actually, in a different slide deck, which I think I might have accidentally gotten rid of because I couldn't find it, I had to remake the menu. Slightly different than the original, but there are 3. And I did write down where you could get them. If we look it up on YouTube, there are videos for the 3 long coats of the game. Because that's how I found it in order to get you dressed in one for this show. I'm only making the 1 leg of lamb. But some of the people I know are vegetarian, so I'm making the leg of lamb for me. And the birthday coming up. But all the other stuff, and I'm actually very interested in this wine eggnog. Because I know what wine tastes like, and I know what my agua frescas taste like, because I make them all the time. Although I usually make the lime, the grapefruit, the orange, lemon, or lemon lime. I have tried mixing grapefruit with lemon and lime, but it doesn't stand out. But I do a lot of agua frescas. I haven't done it with muddled berries, though, but I've done it with rosemary, which settles your stomach. I've done it with basil, which settles your stomach. And actually, I got into last night putting parsley with lime juice in water because that also hydrates and it helps clean out your liver in a natural detox way. So, like, I'm getting all over into flavored waters right now. Just because if I'm going to sit here in front of a computer for a couple hours every day, I'm going to drink water when I do it rather than pop. Although I sometimes do miss coffee. But, I can handle an espresso without any sugar. You know how I do it? A little bit of cocoa powder, a little bit of cinnamon. Cinnamon saves it for me. It's a beautiful smell. Alright, guys. You guys should hook up. I don't know if you guys can find each other on Facebook or on Twitter, or if you're both following me, look for each other and follow each other on YouTube, because you guys are both on the European server. You're both like from the future. I'm talking to 2 men from the future. Yay! My present is very blizzardy. I cleaned off my car this morning in high winds, and now it's covered in another half foot of snow again. I was going to go out of town to visit some family, but I had a feeling the wind just was a little bit mean today, so I stayed close to home. I'm glad I did, because I wouldn't have wanted to be caught in this coming home on a highway. There's very little visibility where I am right now. I know you guys just have more wind. I could actually make a snowman on my balcony right now. A little one. You know what? I think I'm going to do that just to get some fresh air. I'm going to make... Last year I made a snowman on my balcony and he lasted all winter long. It was great. When everything else melted, it was just this little lump of 2 eyeballs looking at me. Yeah. And now all I want is coffee with cinnamon on it. What did I just do? But Dmac, I thank you so much for being the inspiration for my New Year's Eve dinner. I'm really cooking this. And like I said, I've got that like lamb out. I froze it. I bought it before Christmas. And I couldn't talk anybody into eating it for Christmas. So I just said I'm going to make it for New Year's and have the leftovers for birthday parties coming up this week on the 1st and the 4th. And I'm just going to enjoy. But I have so many. I've got carrots. I love asparagus. I could eat them like French fries. And I have pears. My father gave me pears for Christmas, so that's what I'm using for that. And I have blueberries. I have more blueberries and raspberries. I have blueberries and raspberries, and I have frozen cranberries. So that's why I'm using frozen cranberries and raspberries. I'm legit gonna make this stuff. And I have one orange, one big fat juicy looking orange. It's hanging on for tomorrow. I'm gonna be cooking all day tomorrow. If you guys see me online, it'll be a miracle. Cause I'm gonna be like checking the computer, listening to some beats while I'm cooking back and forth. I like it when I have some time by myself to have the kitchen for the day. That's when I cook well. I send everybody else away and I just hear music, see sunshine coming in through the window, fresh air. I can stare at a dog or a cat as long as they don't come into the food area. And I'm happy. And it's a happy day. And then I sit and play well while I eat it all. I hope you really try it, even if it's just in pieces. I'm going to try it for sure. And since things are freezable or can last for a few days, I'm cooking for the week, guys. And I hope you enjoy. I'm going to go offline now. This is the end of the last Riddle Me Din Din episode for 2025. Thanks for being with me, making it so much fun and funny. And we'll send these lambs back to the fields. Yes. And then give me like a half an hour or so. Or you guys might be asleep by then. I think it's just after midnight for you guys. Maybe it's 12:36 for you, 6:36 for me, and then I'll be gaming. I just want to clean up a bit, check on the kitchen. I'm so sorry about the schedule, guys. I've had a weird time of so first of all, there's blackouts happening in my area a lot out of nowhere, which interfered with me getting onto Twitch. And then once the blackouts were over, I couldn't get my rigging to come back. Every time I kept looking for any kind of possible cache to erase on all of my systems. I kept rebooting and it just wasn't working. So when I finally got things working, was it yesterday? And I came in at a time when I wasn't supposed to be. I never turned off my computer. I never shut VTube Studio because I didn't want to lose the rigging. And even when I'm idle, like just before I tried to come online with you guys, it's a little bit late because the rigging went out again. I keep having to turn my camera on and I don't know why it's turning off because I'm not turning it off, but it's like I don't know if maybe I need to buy a new one, but it's something weird's going on with my computer. Oh, really? Sleepy time for you guys. Well, I hope you have sugar plum fairies in your heads and just enjoy the cooking. Even if you don't have time to do it tomorrow, I know for you guys this might be a little late for you to see it. For my friends over in the west coast of the Americas, in Alaska, for example, Piscana, this will be coming in for her just in time to see and have a day to plan. I knew what I was going to do, so I'm ready. My fridge is full and ready to go. For tomorrow morning when I wake up, I'm going to start making stuff. So, also too, because when I see a moment where it's calm outside today, I knew, get to the store now or you're not going to make it tomorrow, because you just don't know with all the blizzards going on around here and the high winds. It's kicking up everything, so you don't have a lot of visibility on the road. If I don't have to be on a road when there's a storm, I don't want to do it anymore. I had my years of traveling over winter roads in the Arctic, over frozen lakes, and I don't ever want to risk the weather anymore. I like to be safe now and enjoy my food and enjoy my gaming. Thank you so much, guys. Big heartfelt thank you. The last Riddle Me Din Din of the year. I think it's an amazing, fabulous one. And I love more that we had to bribe the innkeeper and get ourselves here into Thessalmar on the Alliance side. Us Hordes are going to take off now. All three of us, in fact, are Horde loving. High Elven styles. Champagne tastes. And we're going to get going now. I hope everyone has fun. And I'll see you, if not tonight, tomorrow, to celebrate the incoming of the new year. So happy New Year's Day Eve, everybody. This is Venus Callida. I'm going to be signing off now. And as long as my rigging holds, I'm going to come back and do some gaming a half hour to an hour from now. If you're asleep by then, just enjoy. Have a wonderful holiday celebratory time in the next 24 to 48 hours, and I'll be seeing you. You too, Msoul night. Take care, everybody. Thanks for being here, and Dmac, thank you for the inspiration, my fellow foodie and actual chef. Take care, everyone. Take care, Traxxer. I may or may not see you online in a little bit. I'm going to do the grind. I'm going to do the grind for all the gear. I'm going to get in my last Yeti kills so I can get my presents under Father Winter's tree. I'm going to be bringing in all my... I'm going to do a lot of alt hopping tonight so we can all get our presents before they disappear. We've got until January 2nd, but I want to get it done now. All right. Take care. I still feel like it's the Christmas season, 12 days of Christmas, because I do the Epiphany too. So happy Christmas holidays, winter holidays, seasonal holidays. Happy birthday, happy New Year's, happy New Year's Eve day, and all that stuff. Happy feasting, everyone. Thank you so much. God bless, and I'll be seeing you. Bye, my